Get things started here for the Jags. We got Silas in center, Caden on this side, Emmett on the other, with Miko and Tommy on the back end. But we've already got we haven't even started the clock. We've already got the ref coming over, talking to folks. Puck pushed back to Miko. Miko gets it up to Caden. Caden, oh, we just entered offsides. Puck drop just outside of the zone. They move it into the zone. They come up. They pass across. They miss on that pass across and shot from the back door. They cycle around behind the net, push it up to their D. They go across D to D. Emmett pressures them over there. They have to push it down. They come in front. Nico chips that into the corner. He picks it up there. He throws it up the boards to Emmett. Emmett tries getting it out. Now he's able to get it up and out. Comes, just out of Silas's reach. And they're turned around, push it. The Cyclones push it into the corner here. They come into the middle. Tommy gets it there. He pushes it up the far boards to Silas. The Cyclones turn it around. They come back in. Tommy gets it. He's just going to skate it out himself. He sees it up. He chipped it towards Silas, and it was just out of his reach, and it goes all the way down for an icing. Hardy in here to take this face off. And we get an immediate whistle, so I think they're throwing somebody out of the face-off circle. Going to try it again here, deep in the Jag zone to the right of Jack. Puck pushed into the corner. Tack picks it up there. He comes around behind the net. He hits Landon. Landon, tried chipping it up, but couldn't get it over to Brecken. Puck back into the corner, comes up. Hardy picks it up. He's got Brecken with him. He passes across to Brecken. Brecken into the zone. He tried getting it back in. Now he throws it in deep. Hardy into the middle. Abby Joe pinches in to pick that up. Hardy comes back into the neutral zone, picks up the puck there. He turns around, kicks it forward, gets it into the zone. He passes in front. Brecken's there. He tried sneaking it in on the back door. Couldn't get it in. Puck behind the net. Hardy picks it up there. He comes across, comes back to the D. Tack gets it. Tack fires a shot over to Landon. Landon with a backhander to Brecken. Brecken shoots, but it's into some legs. Back to Tack. Tack fires it. It goes just over the net. Hardy with it behind the net. He comes around. He passes into the front to Landon. Landon with a backhander in. Loose in front. Hardy with the rebound. Just over the net. Puck onto the near boards here. Abby Joe pinches. Brecken comes in to hold it in deep. He comes up the middle but can't get a shot off, and the Cyclones throw it out, and it goes in deep to the Jag zone, but Tack gets to it before it can go for icing. Tack coming up the near boards. He chips it around to James. James pushes that up, but he's turned around by the Cyclones player. They throw it in deep. Cyclones player behind the net. Miko pressures them there. They pass it up front. They're up front. Jack makes a save, rebound save. Puck still loose out front. Miko's able to push it into the corner. He gets it up to Grayson, but it's off of his stick to their Cyclones D. They cycle around. They come in. They shoot it behind the net. It comes up to this side. They fire it in. Jack covers that up for the whistle. For everybody at home, it is 0-0, even though there's an 8 on the scoreboard. They are using the smallest scoreboard in the venue. Oh, they just changed it to a 0 now. So it's zeros officially on the scoreboard. Puck thrown back into the corner, pushed around. Grayson had it momentarily. Now it's back behind the net. Mikko pushes it up. Cyclones come into the middle. Jack makes his save, rebound save, and now he covers it up on the third shot. Puck pushed over here. Emmett gets it. He pushes it out of the zone. It's coming all the way in. Caden's hustling after it. The Cyclones player grabs it there. Caden pressures them. They're going to push it up the other side of the ice. Silas comes over, pressures them. He chips it off their stick. They come up. They throw it into the middle. Emmett gets it there. He fires a shot in. Goaltender covers that up for the whistle. For everybody at home, we do have better Mark here today, but he is. He says it's too early in the morning for color commentary on the feed. Silas in here to take this face off deep in the Cyclone zone to the right of their goaltender. He pushes it over to Emmett. Emmett gets it back to Mikko, but it chips over his stick and comes out. Tommy picks it up there. He goes across to Silas. Silas pushes it up to Emmett. Emmett turns around. He gains his zone. We got a 3-on-2 developing. Emmett throws it in. Oh! Off the glove and just past the open net. Caden fires it in from the corner, and the goalie covers it up there for a whistle. Hardy in here to take the face-off. Puck is pushed back behind the net. Landon gets back in there, pressures them. They reverse the play around to these near boards. They come up. They chip it up. Abby Joe pulls up, stops him in the neutral zone. Brecken pushed it into the middle. Cyclones pick it up there. They come across. They go to the far side. Tech stick checks it away from him there. Abby Joe gets it, throws it to the line, but not out. Hardy comes up, pressures and we've got a penalty coming up for interference to the Jags. Puck's going to drop deep in the Jag zone here. Abby Joe gets it, chips it up, and their D picks it up. They go cross ice down low. Tech does a good job of getting there with his skates. He chips it up to Grayson. It pops over his stick. Now Beckett's able to get it up and out of the zone. Cyclones regrouping here. Grayson pressuring him nicely in the neutral zone. Puck comes over. Beckett pushes it further in. Cyclones advance it in. Tech comes over. They elbow him in the head and no call. Beckett comes over to exude a little hockey justice. Tack battling with a couple of them in the corner now. He comes up. Grayson comes in to help out. Beckett picks up the puck. Cyclones push it up to their D. Good job there by Grayson, pressuring him. Puck into the middle. Beckett picks that up, gets it to Grayson, and Grayson fires it down the ice. Puck's going to be dropped deep in the Jag zone to the right of Jack. Silas pushes that over to Tommy. Tommy chips it back to Silas. Silas missed pumping it out of the zone there. Tommy pressures him in the corner, ties up the player, ties up the puck. Second Cyclones player comes in, picks it up. They skate in, they chip it back out. Silas pressuring there. They come up to the point. Caden pressures them. They come across. They push it over to the side. It comes out. Silas pressuring them. Oh, just missed a tip for a breakaway. Cyclones re-enter. They shoot it. Miko blocks that behind the net. Cyclones pick it up there. They cycle in. They get a shot. Sticked into the corner. Tommy covers that puck. He chips it up. Cyclones pushing the puck around. They throw it across ice up to their D. They chip it down low. Miko pressures them off the puck. Now they regroup. Silas gets it up to Caden. And, we couldn't clear the zone. Got it all the way to the line. Cyclones fired in. Jack makes a leg pad save. Now the Cyclones push it up, and they are able to hold it coming off of a line change. Tommy picks it up. Tommy chips it up. We got a 2-on-1 developing here with Silas and Caden. Silas comes in. He fires it just over the net. Caden in the corner here battling, gets some help from Emmett. Now the Cyclones come up. They skate in the neutral zone, through the neutral zone. Abby Jo pushes them wide. They come in. They have to cycle into the corner. It's chipped off of a stick to the line. Abby Jo picks it up there. She chips it up. Emmett gets it. He's able to clear the zone. No icing because it went by a couple of Cyclone players that are changing, so they didn't play the puck. Good pressure there by Hardy. He comes into the middle, gets the puck. It comes in. Landon gets it. It comes up to Tack. Tack pushes it forward. Cyclones get it to the line, but not out. Brecken battling on the far boards. Puck comes over. Good job by Tack. Brecken has it. He comes in. He comes around looking for a wraparound, but the Cyclones get it. Puck comes back. Landon has it. He fires it, but it's wide into the corner. Hardy chips it back to Tack. Tack comes in, fires a shot, comes around. Landon gets it, shoots it, but it's deflected. Brecken ties up the player's stick. Puck back behind the net. Cyclones push it up the far boards. Tack gets a stick on it. Hardy gets it at the line. It comes out. Landon does a stick lift. Abby Jo's able to get the puck. Now comes back in. Landon lifts the stick. Tack grabs the puck. They throw it up to Brecken. Brecken looking up. He's gets it across to Hardy. Hardy's coming in. He comes in, comes around. Loses it just before he could get that backhander off. Cyclones come around. They dance through. They fired in. Jack covers that up. No rebound. Puck dropped here deep in the Jag zone. Beckett's able to get that back to Miko. Miko pushes it up towards James, but it's intercepted. Now it comes across. Grayson's able to get it. He comes up. He chips it out of the zone. Couldn't connect with James. Beckett's pressuring him there. Puck comes into the middle. James pressures him. Cyclones come in. Good stick check there by Miko. Cyclones come in. They fire it high over the net. They come into the middle. Tommy's pressuring him there. They push it into the middle. Puck loose in front. Jack grabs that, covers it up for the whistle. Silas in here to take this face off. He pushes it back to Tommy behind the net. Tommy comes around. He does a board turn, a double board turn now, chips it up to Caden. Caden pushes it to Silas. Silas is over to Emmett. Emmett into the zone. Back to Silas in the middle. He fires it. Loose puck. Caden pushes it. The goaltender covers it up there for the whistle. Us in here to take this face off. It comes back up top to Tommy. Tommy fires it in. It's deflected just wide. Caden gets it in front. And Emmett's able to finish that off. Hardy in here. Hardy in here to take this face off. He pushes it back to Abby Joe. Abby Joe comes across the tack. Tack chips it up to Hardy. Hardy into the zone. He is tied up there. Cyclones are able to get it out. Their winger comes up. Tack pressures them. They dump it in deep. Hardy picks it up behind the net. He chips it around to Tack. Tack comes up, gets it to Brecken. Brecken stood up. Cyclones turn it around. Hardy pressures them there. Puck back into that far corner. Cyclones looking for a pass. They come into the middle, but a good stick lift there. So they're not able to get a shot off. They come around behind the net. They cycle in. Hardy gets a stick on it. Landon gets it, can't get it out. He was trying to chip it up to Hardy, but Cyclones pick that off. They come back in. Hardy picks it up behind the net. He tries getting around, but he can't. Puck into the middle. Tack gets it there. He comes up to Landon. Landon over to Hardy. Hardy into the zone. He pushes back into the middle, but can't connect with Landon. Cyclones pick it up there. Landon gets a stick on him. Puck comes just out as Abby Joe pushes it back in. Puck dropped here, pushed back to Tommy. Tommy pressured there by the Cyclones. He regroups into the zone, kicks it over to Grayson. Grayson to Beckett. Beckett into the zone. He pushes it into the net, but the goaltender grabs it there and covers it up for the whistle. Puck pushed over to James. James back to the point to Tommy. Tommy throws it in behind the net. Grayson battling there. They come all the way around. Nico pinches in, gets it to Grayson. Grayson tried ducking into the middle, but he couldn't. Cyclones push it across the ice to get it out of the zone. They're coming in, and they come in just off sides for the whistle. Silas in here to take this face off. Emmett comes around, pushes it through the neutral zone. Cyclones pick it up there. Silas gets his body on it. Caden gets it into the zone. Now he advances it up to Silas. Silas looking for the pass. He fires it in the middle. Couldn't connect with Caden there. Now Tommy pinches on those far boards, comes in. He's tied up in the corner. He pushes it back to Emmett. Emmett fires it in, but it's deflected just high. Caden gets it, throws it in the middle. Loose puck in front. Silas hammering away, but the whistle blows. Silas in here to take the face off. He ties it up, pushes it forward. Cyclones push it to the line, and it comes out. Abby Joe disrupts it there. Tack gets it. He chips it over to Emmett. Emmett pushes it into the Caden. Caden throws it into the zone. It is pushed up there. Cyclones come across into the middle. They get a backhander in. Hardy in here to take this face off at center ice. Puck comes back. Brecken has it, but the Cyclones now chip it into the zone. They tried getting it into the middle. Abby got her stick on it there to turn it away. Puck comes up to Hardy. Hardy's got it with 5 seconds left here. He pulls up at center ice. Landon overskates it, and that's the end of the first. We're going to get things started here in the second with Hardy, Landon, Brecken, with Miko and Tommy on the back end. Puck dropped here. Hardy pushes that forward, pushes it over. Tommy's able to pick that up and throw it into the zone. He throws it in and around. Cyclones come up. They push it up. Tommy picks it up there. He is pushed off the puck. Cyclones come in. Jack's able to make that save. It's underneath them. Still loose now. And Jack covers it up for the whistle. Beckett in here to take this face off. He wins that over to Tommy. Tommy comes around behind the net. He's looking for a lane. Chips it up to James. James over to Beckett. Beckett into the neutral zone. Beckett pushes it over to Grayson. They're able to get it into the zone. Grayson pushes it in deeper. James coming in hard on the forecheck here. And Beckett's able to push it back into Grayson. Grayson cycles. He looks for a pass out front. Couldn't connect with Beckett, but Cyclones come out of the zone. Miko pushes him wide. They have to dump it into the zone. Beckett comes in, helps ride him into the corner. Puck comes around. Grayson picks it up there. He chips it past. Nope, can't get it past one. Tommy throws it around to Miko. Miko's able to pick it up there. He pushes it up to James. It comes to the line. Pops out off of some skates. Beckett's able to push it forward. He comes into the zone. He pushed off the puck there. Puck comes up to Tommy on the point. He dances around one, comes in. He cycles in looking for a pass. Does a board turn to protect. He's tied up. Grayson comes in to help him. Grayson comes away with the puck. Skates into the middle. Gets a backhander in. James tried to get it in but couldn't. Puck to Miko. Miko up to Grayson. Oh, back to the line. Beckett picks it up there. Pushes it back into Grayson. Grayson cycling around. Pushes it into the middle, but we've got no one in front. as we were making a line change there. Puck comes up. Emmett hustles on the back check, disrupts that play. Tommy into the corner, picks the puck up, chips it around to the near boards. Caden picks it up there. He can't chip it out of the zone. Comes back to Tommy. Tommy is going to skate it up and out, gets it to Silas. Silas into the middle. He's tied up with two. Stick save there by the goaltender. Pushes it into the corner. Caden pressuring in the corner here. They are skating around. They get pressure by Silas coming behind the net, but they're able to get past that pressure. They come up. They pass it all the way up, and that goes for an icing. Hardy in here to take this face-off deep in the Cyclone zone to the left of their goaltender. He ties up the puck. It comes over to Landon. Oh, he tried stepping into the middle but loses the puck. Puck comes up to the line. Cyclones are in on a 3-on-1. They pass across. Abby's able to get a stick on it, and she ties it up behind the net here. Chips it around. It comes over, tipped up to Brecken. Brecken to Landon. Landon's got one to beat. He's got Brecken coming in hot. He chips it over to Brecken. Brecken comes in, fires it. No rebound. Hardy in here to take this face off. He ties up the centerman. Landon gets it. He goes for a shot, but it's deflected. He pushes it around behind the net. Hardy picks it up there. He is tied up by 2 or 3 players. Brecken comes in, gets it to Landon. Landon shoots it, misses the net. Hardy picks it up there. He cycles around, trying to get it back up front. He puck protects around. He's able to come in. Brecken gets it. Oh! Just missed the net there. Cyclones come up. They push it up. It goes off Abby Joe's hand. Tack gets it, pushes it up to Hardy. Hardy comes in to the zone, fires it in. Goaltender sticks that aside. Brecken's picking that up. He's battling on the boards. Pushed it, into the middle there by Tack, but it comes out. Abby Joe's able to stop him there. They tried passing across. Picked up there by Tack. Tack pushes it up the wall. Comes back down in. And they throw it into the middle. James is able to pick that up. He comes up out of the zone. We got a 3-on-2 developing. Now the puck's pushed in deep. James is going to go in and forecheck on his own as we're completing a line change. It comes around. Grayson picks it up on the boards. Pushed it toward the middle. Cyclones pick it up and they come out of the zone. They chip it up these near boards now. They dump it in deep as they want to get a line change in. Miko picks it up. He reverses the play. Gets it over to Grayson. Grayson comes up. Gets that to Beckett, but they can't clear the zone. Miko picks it up. He throws it into the neutral zone. Cyclones turn it around there and push it in deep. Miko has it, pushes it up the boards. Can't connect with James. Puck into the middle. Tommy has it there. Gets it to Beckett. Now they're battling. James comes in to help out. They can't quite clear the zone. Now Grayson gets it out, and they push it back in immediately for an offsides whistle. Silas comes in to take this face off just outside of the Jag zone to the left. Gets it over to Emmett. Emmett advances it into the neutral zone, but the Cyclones pick it up there. They chip it up these near boards. Comes all the way in. Tommy's on it there. He chips it up to Emmett. Emmett chips it around, comes up to Silas in the neutral zone. Oh, it comes all the way into the zone. Cyclones pick it up. Oh, Caden has it. Tried getting it out front, but can't. Now the Cyclones are able to regroup and come out of the zone. Good back check there by Caden, but he loses his stick. Cyclones push it in deep into the corner. They're cycling around. Miko gets it. Silas has it. He pushes it up. Caden's able to recover his stick on this in mid stride, but the puck comes all the way down for an icing. Hardy in here to take this face off. He wins it over to Abby Joe. She chips it around the boards. It comes into the middle. Tack has it there. Tack comes out. We get a 4-on-2 developing. Tack into the zone. He comes across. Passes over to Landon in the middle, in the crease. The goalie covers it up for the whistle. Hardy in here to take this face off just to the right of the goaltender. He ties him up. Gets a shot off the face off there. Comes to Brecken. He pushes it in front. Landon couldn't get a shot on. Comes to Abby Joe. She fires it. Oh! Came over to Landon, but he couldn't get a shot off. Puck comes up. Abby Joe comes in. Battling. Now the Cyclones get it in front. Tack's able to pick that up. He chips it up the boards. Comes to the line, but not out. Pushes it back in deep. Abby Joe comes in. Battles for that puck. Ties up the Cyclones player. She is battling with a few of them back there. Tack comes in to help out now. Puck comes up. Tack gets that pass to Landon. Goes off of his stick, comes through. Brecken hard on the forecheck here, chasing him behind the net. Hardy comes in. Can't get to that. Cyclones come up. They come through the neutral zone. And they start passing around. They get it to the far side. Abby Joe gets a stick on it. She chips that up the boards. Doesn't get it all the way up. Hardy battling behind the net. Comes over. James now picks it up. He gets it to Hardy. Hardy into the neutral zone. He comes up. He stops, looks for some help. Deals around one into the corner. Tried coming into the middle, but it's poke checked out. Now the Cyclones come up. They're coming into the zone. Abby Joe pushes them wide. They come in. Jack gets that. Covers it up. No, they're calling it a goal. They do call that a goal. Beckett in here to take this face off at center ice. He pushes that over. Grayson gets it. He comes in now. Puck protects to get it into the zone. Throws it in behind the net. James coming in hard on the forecheck here. Turns the Cyclones around. He's pressuring them. Multiple board turns. Tommy pinches in to hold that in. He gets it to Beckett. Beckett pushes it over to James. James pushes it across to Grayson. Oh, and he misses just behind the net there. And we've got a penalty coming up to somebody. Penalty is to the Jags. Beckett in here to take this face off deep in the Jag zone to the left of Jack. Cyclones push it back to their D. They feed it back to the wing. The wing pushes it across to the back door. They try getting a shot off. It's loose in front. They regroup and come back to their D at the point. They push it around to the near boards. They skate in. They throw it in front. Picked up there by James. James is able to get it out of the zone. He's racing after it. Cyclones pick it up, though. They regroup. They're coming up the far side now. Miko's able to get him off that puck. Oh, he misfires on clearing the zone. Comes back to him. He's got it. He sees a lane. He's going to skate it himself. He's got that offensive mindset. He gets around. Oh, couldn't quite make the corner around the D, but he pushes it in deep behind the net. Beckett pressuring him there. Puck to the line. Tommy gets it there. He does a board turn to avoid some pressure. Now the Cyclones push it up into the middle. James is after it on this race. He comes in, pushes it up. Miko grabs it there, ships it over to Beckett. Beckett out of the zone. He dances around one. He gets it into the zone, gets some help from James. He's in the middle. He looks for it, shoots it. Oh, just missed wide on that. Cyclones pick it up. They regroup into the middle. Silas picks that off. He gets around one, gets around two. The third one gets him, though. Cyclones grab it, and they throw it in deep as they're looking for a line change. Abby Jo picks it up behind the net. She does a board turn to keep it on the near side. She pushes that up to Emmett coming in hot off a line change. He comes up. Penalty is over now. Cyclones chip it out. They go ahead, raise their hands, hit Tack in the head again. Puck back to Abby Jo. Abby Jo pushes it up to Caden. Caden couldn't quite clear the zone. Turned around there, back to Abby Jo. She tries this side. Emmett picks it up there. He chips it to Silas. Silas gets it out of the zone. He comes across to Caden. Caden shoots but misfires. Cyclones battling there. They turn around. They push it up to the line. And we got another penalty coming to the Jags here. We got matching penalties here. I think the refs are trying to calm things down. So we got a match here, so it'll still be 5-on-5 hockey. Puck dropped here. Hardy gets that over to Landon. Landon comes up, chips it off the glass and into Hardy. He comes into the middle, shoots it. Goaltender grabs that with their glove for the whistle. Hardy in here to take this face off. He ties it up, comes over to Landon. Landon gets it into the corner. Now he tried centering it, but it's picked off. And Cyclones come up. They chip it past Tack. They come into the zone. Tommy pressures them. They shoot it wide of the net. Picked up there by Hardy. Hardy is off into the zone, but the Cyclones turn him around immediately. They come up. They come around, and they pick the corner. Beckett pushes this puck over. James can't quite get it past. Comes back into the zone, out of the zone. Cyclones regroup. They re-enter. Mikko pushes them off the puck. They pick it back up and throw it across the ice. Now it comes up. They go to their D. Grayson pressures them. They push it back into the corner. They're dealing around. They throw it into the middle. Mikko pushes that back into the corner. It comes up to James. James is able to skate it out of the zone. He comes up. He's pushed wide. And now he's pushed down, but Beckett comes in, picks it up, fires it, gets a rebound, shoots it, but goaltender covers up that rebound shot. Beckett in here to take this face off. It is pushed back to Mikko. Mikko pushes it back in deep. It comes around the net. Grayson in here battling for it. Abby Joe pinches in to help out. Now Beckett comes in. Puck into the corner. Beckett pressuring him there. He's battling with a couple of players. He gets the puck. Pops out to the other side of the ice. Cyclones come up that far side. They come across. They push it back to this side, near side of the ice. They come into the middle. It is immediately pushed back over Abby Joe. She's got a lane. She tries hitting James on a pass, but it's picked off. Cyclones cycle it down in deep. Abby Joe picks it up. She's going to try the far side. She is turned back. Puck comes to Mikko. Mikko gets it up to Grayson. Grayson to Beckett. That's the end of two here. Silas in here with Caden and Emmett to get things started in the third. And we got Tommy and Tack on the back end here. Silas wins it over to Tack. Tack gets it. He chips it up to Silas. Silas tried tipping it over to Emmett, but the Cyclones picked that off. They're turned around at the line there. Emmett gets it. He kicks it up to Silas. Oh, he couldn't quite enter the zone. And we do enter offsides after. Puck's dropped here. It is pushed back to Tack. It pops over his stick. He gets it. Now he gets it up to Emmett. Emmett comes across to Caden. Caden's able to enter the zone. He comes in. He pushes it to Tommy. Tommy tried getting a shot off, but it's deflected. Caden pressures him as they come around the net. Silas gets him on the far side, but they're able to skate through him. Now they come up and they skate right in past the D. They fire it. Jack gets it. Good stick by Tommy to keep that out of the net. Silas gets it, tips it to Emmett, but it's just off of his stick. So Emmett comes in hard here. Puck into the middle. Cyclones get it up. They get a 3-on-2 developing. That turns into a 1-on-1. Tommy gets his stick on it, and the Cyclones are able to go cross the crease and get it in past Jack. Hardy in here to take this face off. And he gets it over to Brecken. Brecken tried getting it into the zone. He does, but the Cyclones turn him away. Puck back to Mikko. He chips it to Landon, but the Cyclones pick it up there. They come in. They fire it in. Jack grabs that, pushes it over. Now it's loose in front. Hardy's able to pick it up. He throws it up the glass to Landon. Landon gets into the middle. He comes into the zone, comes around one, gets it on his backhand, fires it, goes through the crease. Puck comes over to the far side now, comes up to the point. Mikko gets it there. Landon comes around the net to grab it. Puck protects, does a board turn, comes into the middle, comes over here. His stick is tied up, couldn't get to it with his foot, and Mikko's able to hold the line, gets it into Hardy. Hardy battling in the corner here. He's taken down. Cyclones pick that up. They chip it up into the neutral zone. Mikko gets it there. He chips it up to Landon. Landon into the middle to Hardy. Hardy dances around one as he regroups. Now he gets into the zone. He comes in. Oh, misfires on that. It's in the corner. Now he's trying to get it up front. Gets it over to Brecken. Brecken shoots. The goaltender covers that up for the whistle. Beckinson here to take this face off with James and Grayson deep in the Cyclones zone. Puck comes over. Pressured there by James. Puck into the middle. Ooh, Beckett couldn't catch up with it. Cyclones push it across into the middle. Good back check here by Grayson. He comes over, disrupts the play, pushes him wide. Tommy rides him into the corner. Now they chip it into the middle. It's picked up there. Tommy's able to pick it up as they shoot it again. He pushes that up to Grayson. He's turned back at the half wall. Now the puck comes behind the net. Tack on it here in the near corner. Cyclones push it into the middle. They push it across. And they eventually get it in. Silas in here to take this face off. He wins it back to Mikko. Mikko turns, gets it to Caden. Caden chips that up to Silas. He comes into the zone, but immediately turned back by the Cyclones. Emmett stops them at the blue line. Now they're able to push it back in. Caden picks that up. He pitchforks it out of the zone. Cyclones regroup, re-enter the zone. And they come into the middle here. They pass across. They shoot it in, and Jack covers that up for the whistle. Hardy in here to take this face off. He wins that over to Abby Joe. She's battling, gets it up to Hardy. We get a 3-on-1 developing here. Hardy gets it into the zone. He passes to Brecken. Brecken fires it in for the goal. Puck one back to Miko here. He chips it up to Landon. Oh, the ref, it deflects off of him into the zone here. Hardy on it there. It's pushed around behind the net. Brecken pressuring him there. They come up the half wall. Hardy picks that up. Oh, but he can't control it, so he's got to regroup in the neutral zone. Gets it to Abby Joe. Abby Joe to Landon. Landon chips that up, but Cyclones pick it up there. Now Abby Joe turns him around. Puck comes in. Miko has it. He fires it up, but it's deflected back toward him. He's battling with the Cyclones player. Hardy comes back to get it. Comes into the middle. The Cyclones fire it. Jack covers that up for the whistle. Beckett in here to take this face-off drop deep in the Jag zone to the left of Jack. Ooh, the Cyclones win it right back through the crease. It comes over to Grayson. He chips it up to the Cyclones D. They push it back in deep. Tack gets it there. He tried coming up the wall. Now he's able to push it up toward Grayson. And that chips over to James. James gets it out of the zone. He's coming in. He is pushed wide. Now he throws it in to Beckett. Beckett fires it, but it's deflected out to Tack. Tack fires it in. The goaltender grabs that with their glove for the whistle. Beckett in here wins that over to James. James to Tack. Tack fires it in. It's deflected just wide of the net. Tommy pinches in deep to hold that. Turn it around behind the net. They cycle it all the way up. Tack pinches in, fires that in, sticked into the side. Grayson comes around the net. Oh, he can't get a shot off. Picked up there by the Cyclones. They come out. Beckett back checking hard. Tommy turns him away at the blue line. They regroup, and now they throw it in deep. Into the corner here, Grayson battling. Beckett comes in to help out. Tack's in there. Puck pops out. Tommy picks it up, comes around to the near boards, pushes that up to James. James comes up the wall, gets it across to Grayson, but it pounces off of his stick. And Cyclones regroup and chip it up to this near side. They throw it into the zone. Tack gets his stick on it, but they pick him off. They fire it. Jack fights that off with the glove. It goes over the net into the corner. Tommy battling there. He gets it up to James. James chips it over to Emmett. He's coming in fresh off a line change. He gets in 1-on-3. He does a little turn here. He has pressured the third player. Gets to the puck there. He's still battling, though. He's not going to give up on it that easy. Puck back to Miko, to Abby Joe, to the line, but not out. Miko picks that back up, chips it up to Emmett. Emmett tried chipping it past the D, but couldn't quite get there. Abby Joe picks it up. She comes across to Caden. Caden chips it up to Silas. Silas throws it in deep. Emmett's going to forecheck in here. He's in here battling behind the net. Gets it, fires it in front. Silas battling there. Loose puck. Caden couldn't get on it. Cyclones come out of the zone. They're coming up the side here. Abby Joe pushes them wide. They come into the corner. They cycle all the way around. They pass to the backside. Jack fights that one off. Puck into the corner. Silas picks it up there. Miko comes up the boards to himself. Now he throws it up to Caden. Goes off of his stick. Cyclones pick it up. They turn it around. They are pushed wide by Miko. They have to go behind the net. They're cycling around. Brecken gets a stick on it. It's pushed to the line, now back in deep. They do a board turn to avoid some pressure by Miko there. He stays with them. Puck into the middle to Silas. Silas tips it over to Brecken. Brecken off to the races. He's got Caden with him. Brecken gets past the goal and fires it in. Hardy in here to take this face off. He pushes that over to Brecken. It comes back to Tack. Tack picks it up there, chips it to Hardy. Comes off of his stick. He loses an edge. Landon battles through it, but the Cyclones turn it around. They push it over to Tack. They back and forth here in the neutral zone. Tack pushes that over to Landon doesn't get it. Now the Cyclones come back in here. They are pushed into the middle. They fire it. It's behind the net. Landon gets it there, chips it up to Hardy. Hardy throws it up and out of the zone. That's going to go all the way for an icing. Puck pushed over to James. James is able to come out of the zone. He is battling, but the back check catches up with him there. Cyclones regroup. They throw it to the line. Grayson gets a stick on it, disrupts it. Beckett gets it, pushes it up. Now James gets it out. He gets it over to Grayson. Grayson tried cutting into the middle. Cyclones pick it up. Now James picks their pocket. He gets it in, fires it in. Goaltender sticks that into the corner. Beckett in hard on the forecheck here. Disrupts the puck behind the net. James comes over, helps out. They reverse the play. Grayson pressures him. Now Abby Joe comes in to cut off that pass to clear the zone. Cyclones reverse it. Try this side. Miko holds it. Dumps it in deep. James battling in the corner here. Gets help from Grayson. Grayson comes in. Tries to duck into the middle. Puck back to James. James pushes that up, but it splits the D. Miko's off to the races. He's going to pick that up as it crosses the line. He comes up, dances around one, pushes it up. Abby Joe gets it over to Caden. Caden up to Emmett. Emmett into the zone, but the Cyclones get it, turn it back out. Comes back to Miko. Miko chips it up to Silas. Silas gets it into the zone, but the Cyclones pick it up there. He's battling with him behind the net now. Picks up the puck, looks to get it in front, does. Caden gets a shot off. Loose puck still, battles. Goaltender covers it up for the whistle. We've got a slashing call to the Jags. Puck dropped here, pushed behind the net to Tommy. Tommy does a board turn to avoid some pressure. Gets that to Tack. Tack tries chipping that up to Silas, but it's picked off Cyclones throw it into the middle. They have it. They fire it. Tommy blocks that. Silas gets it, chips it up toward the line, but not out. Puck's cycled back around behind the net. Cyclones throw it up. Their D can't get to it, so it comes all the way out of the zone. They come all the way in deep behind their net to regroup. Caden comes in, pressures him into a pass. Puck to Tack in the neutral zone. Tack tried coming across, but they knocked that down. They regroup and come in. Silas gets it, can't clear the zone. They come in, they shoot it. Good block there by Tommy. Another block by Tommy. He's able to backhand that to Caden. Caden gets it up and out of the zone. Puck into the middle here. Tack pushes him wide here. Puck comes up. Tommy has it there. Gets it across to Caden. Caden grabs the blue line, gets it into the zone, but he's turned around. Cyclones coming up. They got numbers now. Tack pushes him wide. Hardy comes over, disrupts that play. Hardy's able to pick up the puck. He comes across, gets through one. He's got two to beat. Gets through them, comes in and shoots. Goaltender gets it and covers that up for the whistle. Jags have pulled their goalie. Hardy in here to take this face-off drop. He ties up the man. Lannon comes in to get it, kicks it back to Hardy. Hardy's tied up here. He comes into the middle, chips it in, shoots it. Cyclones turn it around, push it up the boards. Brecken gets it there. He pushes it over to Lannon. Lannon comes in, fires it. Oh! Had Silas on the back door, but he couldn't connect. Cyclones pick it up. They cycle around. They push it into the corner. They're battling for it here. Abby Joe pinches in, gets support from Landon now. Brecken's able to pick up that puck, come around one, gets it in, fires it. Oh! I think that was off the post and out. Nico pinches in to hold it there, gets some help from Silas. Cyclones chip it up to the neutral zone. Abby Joe comes across to Landon. Landon chips that off the glass to Brecken. Brecken can't advance it. Cyclones fire it in deep there. Nico has it. Oh, he loses it. Cyclones grab it. Hardy's able to hold that off. He gets it up, throws it up. It tips off of a Cyclone stick. Silas hot and heavy after it there. Comes across. Brecken has it. He throws it toward the net, but the goalie grabs it for the whistle. Puck pushed over here, pushed in front. Silas tipped it, and that's the end of the game.